Um, my name's Amy. I'm an assistant team manager here at Sunbeam. I've worked here for roughly 7 years, and I started as a supervisor and social worker, and now I'm assistant team manager. I'm here for the next 20 minutes or so, just to talk about how to become a foster carer. Hi, sorry, I don't know if I've just logged in. And I'm just here this morning to talk about how the last few months may have impacted on carers and fostering in general, and also the kind of support that you can expect from Sunbeam, and answer any questions you might have. If you do have any questions after today, feel free to contact us. Our main office number is 0208 799 0930. So you can contact us if there's any questions that come up after today, or if you've missed today's live. I think there's been quite a lot of questions come up from our current foster carers about how the pandemic and all the changes currently going on might impact fostering. So I will cover that in some detail, but also if you have any questions around that, please feel free to ask. In general, the support you can receive as a foster carer is you'll have your allocated supervisor and social worker who will be your main point of contact, really. So if you have any concerns with a child in placement, any concerns overall in your fostering household, you'll have that person that you can contact at any time. However, we also have an out-of-hours service. So if for any reason your allocated social worker isn't available, if they're on holiday, or if it's after working hours, we have that out-of-hours service. So there'll be a duty worker that you can talk to. And so you will have support 24/7. There will always be someone available to support you through any difficulties, answer any of your questions. One of the main questions that kept coming up, particularly at the beginning of lockdown, was how will the pandemic impact on that support? How will we guarantee that you'll still get that support during all the difficulties? And I think, understandably, we have had to make some changes, like I'm sure everyone has, in their lifestyles. We have had to make so your face-to-face visits may have gone virtual during the time where we couldn't visit in your placement directly. However, that is for everyone's safety. We've tried to follow the guidelines throughout the pandemic and throughout lockdown, but not to let you miss out on that support. So we've tried to still be as available as possible. The contact has remained, so you've still had that 24/7 support. It may just be that some of the visits or communication with you was through virtual means. If anything, contact has increased in some areas. So your social worker may have made additional weekly calls. So you always get a weekly call from your supervisor and social worker. In some cases that would have increased. We would try to see the child more often, just so you've got that support in place, even though we can't actually physically come to your house. However, as lockdown has started to ease and restrictions have eased, we are trying to get some normality back. So face-to-face visits can start to go ahead again. Obviously, with all the safety precautions, it is being reviewed regularly about how we can continue to offer the service that you expect, but in a safe way, without having any risks. So we've also offered the same. So as a carer, you would receive access to support groups and to training, and that hasn't stopped during lockdown. Again, we've just had to change the ways we've done that. So you, as a carer, you will receive regular training, and that can be all types of different topics. And as you become a more experienced carer, it will be developed based on your needs, so the kind of child you have in placement or the areas you may find you need to develop, so it can be adapted to suit you. And during lockdown that has continued, but trainings have gone online, so you do e-learning or virtual training. So you've still had access to that, and the feedback from that has been positive. And I think some carers find that easier to access. And it's the same with support groups. So we offer regular support groups for our foster carers and our looked after children during lockdown, and still continuing at the moment. They have become virtual, and the feedback's been really positive. We've had a lot of carers that may not have been able to attend face-to-face support groups due to other commitments, and they've been able to attend the virtual groups, which has been really good. The topics differ for those as well, and again, we can adapt them. So if you feel like a particular topic would suit your needs, we've had certain carers ask for a certain topic to be addressed, then we can put that into place. And we also try and get speakers in that may have knowledge in that subject. So for example, we recently had someone coming from Foster Talk to speak about tax and that kind of information. So we've tried where possible to keep the support there for all carers. So hopefully that eases some anxiety, because I know it is a difficult time and we don't know what is going to happen, and we have had to all make changes. But when you're a foster carer, obviously you need that support. So we've tried to keep that in place. In regards to the contact at the moment, so as I said, that is slowly going back to face-to-face visits. So if you were interested in becoming a foster carer, if you give us a call and want to arrange an initial visit, we can have a discussion about the best way to do that. So if that was one of the reasons you weren't contacting, maybe because you wasn't sure if you wanted to visit, or you didn't know how it would work, just feel free to give us a call and we can talk you through that. I think one of the questions we often get from people that are interested in fostering is, can I foster if I work, or things like that. So can I foster if I have my own children, if I'm a single carer? And I would say in most cases we can consider your individual circumstances and then work with you. And we can't guarantee that you'd be suitable to foster, but I would say just give us a call and have a chat through it, and we can discuss whether that would be possible. Because sometimes you may think you wouldn't be suitable, but actually we could consider. So I would say just give us a call even if you just want to have a chat, or you've thought about fostering and you wanted to ask a question and you've never got around to it, give us a chat. I think for some people, circumstances have changed during lockdown. You might have been at home a bit more, you might have had a bit more time to consider fostering, and we are still, and have been throughout, continuing the service, so you can still contact us at any time to discuss any questions you might have. I think it's important to acknowledge our current carers as well. I think we have had to make some changes and they've had to adapt, and although they still have the support, obviously there's been changes of children being homeschooled, maybe not having the regular activities or the outlet that they'd normally have. So I think carers have had to manage that, which can be difficult in some cases. So I'd like to say thank you to our current carers as well. I think they've done an amazing job. And I think to carry on the service as we all have, including our foster carers, has been really important and really positive. And the main thing for us was for the service to the children and the care given to the children to not be affected by the lockdown. Obviously, it was unexpected and we can't plan for these things, but we have tried to continually consider how we can adapt the service to fully meet the needs of the children and continue to do that. And I think they will be conversations that will continue for a long time now, to continue to keep you safe, really, to keep everyone safe. I would really urge you to contact us if you are interested in becoming a carer, if you have any questions, or if you just wanted to have a conversation about it, to ease any concerns or areas that you're not sure about. We do have offices in all different locations. I think if you're not sure about logistics, or just give us a call and we can talk about the area you're in and how that would work. But like I say, at the moment, a lot of training and things are virtual, although that will go back to face-to-face at some point. So feel free to contact us after today if any questions do come up. So our number is 0208 799 0930. And we can help you with any concerns you might have had or anything you might not have thought of. I have one question that's come up. Okay, what training support do you provide? Okay, so carers regularly have access to training, and that is from when you are first approved as a carer throughout your fostering role and your career. And that is an expectation that you complete training, and that is for your own benefit as well. Things constantly change. You'll have different children in placement with different needs, and it will enable you to be able to meet those needs and have that experience and information on how to manage things. At the moment, like I say, training is virtual and e-learning, but it's the same training that you would receive. It's the same information, and every year you'll get a training profile, and the first year is just first year basic trainings like your first aid, safer caring, safeguarding, and then as you become more experienced, you will have access to further training that might be more individual to your needs. So if you had a child in placement with a specific need, you could then do the training to support that. I also have another question. I work full-time. Am I able to become a foster parent? Like I said earlier, I think there's a lot of times where you're unsure if your circumstances will impact on whether you can become a foster carer. It is very based on your individual circumstances. So I would urge you to give us a call and talk through it. If you've got flexibility in your work, some people work full-time from home, they can adapt their days. I would say there needs to be some level of flexibility. So would you be willing, maybe if you had a new placement, to take time off or adapt your hours, or so it just depends your circumstances and how adaptable you are to that. But we don't want to limit. We need foster carers. There's always a need for them, and we want committed foster carers. So I would ask that you give us a call, and we'll try and work through your circumstances and if that's achievable in fostering. Okay, well, thank you for listening, and we hope to hear from some of you soon. And like I say, any questions, or if you just want to have a chat through what fostering entails and what support you might need, then feel free to give us a call. Thank you.